guys, today I'm here with my favorites for March. I actually just finished filming this look here, which will be up shortly if you're curious to see what's on my face. It's always linked down below, but I will have a video going up soon showing you exactly how I got this look. But let's go ahead and get into my favorites. Chatting first about what is on my lips, it is one of the L'Oreal Infallible lip paints. This one is in the shade Taupless. I have a whole lip swatch video on these, so I will link to them down below if you are curious about them. But I really do enjoy the formula. They're very comfortable, they're glossy. Some of the pink ones have like this bit of a weirder texture, but I really enjoy this one. I think it's a really interesting neutral shade because it doesn't totally pop on your skin like an orange or a bright pink or a blue or something like that, but it definitely is very interesting. So I think it could also be quite wearable on a variety of skin tones. I really think that this is like, if you already have like a ton of lipsticks and you were kind of unsure if you wanted to try the lip paints and you were like, I don't know, or for me, a lot of those kind of colors I don't love to wear in a glossy formula. I like to wear more nude shades in a glossy formula, but I have plenty of nude glossy shades, so this is a nice option. I want to talk about a tool that I don't think I've ever mentioned in a favorites video, which is insane because I use it every day, or almost every day basically, and it's just one of those tools that's essential in my collection that I don't really even think to mention because it's a given. And that is this guy. It's a Mascara Guard. If you have been with me for a while, you'll recognize it, and I probably need a new one because it's got like 2 years of mascara buildup on it. I know that's probably gross, but basically you put it right here and you put your mascara on. So if you've got like a makeup look that you've been looking really hard, like working really hard at, if you're just like me and you suck at putting on mascara, like I have quite long curled lashes, so I have a really hard time putting on mascara without it getting on my lid, and then you've got to like wait for it to dry and scrape it off. This I got on Amazon for like $2 and it's such a lifesaver. Putting on mascara, as easy as it seems, it can get kind of messy and so frustrating at times, and this totally saves my life. I'm always switching between brow products. I feel like there's always something new coming out and I'm testing it, but something that I've gone back to a ton this month and used like for probably the first 2 weeks of March when I just didn't really want to mess around and was just grabbing for something I could count on. This is from Glow Minerals and it is their Precise Micro Brow Liner. I use the shade Dark Brown, and I can also get away with using the shade Raven, which is a little bit deeper. It's got a spoolie on the end, just like any other micro brow pencil essentially. It's got a really nice small tip on there, easy for precision work. It's got a nice waxy but creamy texture, nothing that's going to get too messy. It has a good lasting power, really easy to use, and in the world of micro brow pencils, which is getting really overcrowded, but like in a good way because you have tons of selection, this is a good one. So something crazy happened this month. I was probably one of the most surprised that I've ever been by a product in my life, to the point where I might actually do a dedicated review to it because my mind is blown and I just need to test it out a little bit more. I was sent the YSL Touche Éclat Blur Primer, and I was like, this is not going to be any good. It's going to be overpriced. Yes, it has gold in there, but like really, what is that going to do for my skin? I have oily skin. It talks about having like a good hydrating texture and oils in there, and I was like, this is going to be such a mess. Guys. Oh, like it does such a good job. Like I have never really been that much of a believer in primers for wear time, for smoothing out my skin. Like I just never see that much of a difference that I'm really like, oh wow, I need to use that again tomorrow. It's always kind of like, let me test this out. I've got it here. Let's see if it does anything. And it never really does anything that if I don't think about it, I wouldn't notice. Every time I wore this, my face looked smooth. My foundation lasted so well. I had less oil production. Like, to the point where I will 100% repurchase this. Like, and it's expensive. It's like $56, $60, but it's not something obviously I'm going to use on the everyday. I started using it, I think I used it like 5 or 6 days in a row because I just loved the way it looked. And then I started seeing that like it was disappearing obviously because I was using it, and then I was like, oh no, Samantha, slow down. So I'm only going to use it like not on a work day. I'm like, why am I, you know, wasting this beautiful primer on a day at the office where nobody cares what I look like? So it's gorgeous. Like you do see a little bit of the gold flecks on your skin before you put on foundation, but after the fact I don't notice anything. I don't feel like it just does such a good job. So I'm going to test it out a little bit more, but I am absolutely blown away by this. Let me know if you have tried it. I'm curious to know if you have had the same results, or maybe I'm just like tripping out and like it's crap, but like it's seriously the first primer that I've ever tried that actually did something for my skin, so I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to recommend it. A foundation that I loved pairing with that primer is from Maybelline, and it is the Dream Cushion Foundation. I've mentioned this in a favorites before, but I've really been loving a lighter application of foundation, a little bit lighter coverage. Since I've gotten back from my vacation, I'm more tanned, I have freckles, and it just like kind of puts you in the mood to wear like a lighter coverage foundation. And this is just beautiful. And by no means is it light coverage, but it's so incredibly buildable. So you can go in light or you can build it up. It wears so nicely on the skin, feels so lightweight, and looks so natural. I think that this is one of the best foundations I've tried all year, like 2016 to 2017 year. It definitely is a little bit up there in price at the drugstore. Like it can cost like anywhere from $15 to $20. And yes, you can go out and spend another $20 on a higher end foundation or another $15 on a MAC foundation, or you could get 2 of these for $40. Like if you find a foundation you like, and even if it is overpriced at the drugstore, it's still going to be cheaper than a high-end foundation, if that makes sense. Like I know how like the makeup math works, and you're like, drugstore foundation costs $20, high-end foundation costs $40, I might as well just spend $40. But like in reality, you can get 2 drugstore foundations for the price of 1 high-end foundation. Totally personal preference, like if you can't find one at the drugstore, so be it. But this I will totally repurchase. I've absolutely been loving it. More recently, because I have quite a tan, I've been mixing just a little bit of shade 45 in with the shade 55 Caramel. I've got a full oily skin diaries on this, so I will link to it down below. While we are talking vacation, I wanted to put something on my nails that I felt like was gonna last, because I hate having super chipped nails, but I also didn't want to have to worry about like bringing nail polish remover and doing my nails while I was on just a week-long vacation. So I put on the Essie Gel Couture nail polish, knowing full well that it was gonna do an amazing job. While on vacation, I wore the shade Perfect Posture, which is from their ballet collection. When I got back from vacation and switched out my polish, I was wearing the shade Sheer Fantasy. These two I love. I love me a pastel pink and a pastel blue. And I pair it with a top coat, and it seriously lasts so long. Like, I'm the kind of person that puts on a nail polish and it'll last like 2 days. It'll start to chip, look like crap. Like I paint my nails every 3 days, partially because I enjoy painting my nails and switching up the color, and partially because I have to, because it starts looking a hot mess. This does so well. I have not had it chip yet. It will kind of like wear away along the top, but not so much, like just slightly. I had this on for 7 days on the beach. Like it looked really good at the end. Like it didn't look perfect, but if I had worn a regular nail polish, like it just would have been a mess and I would have picked it all off. When I got back from vacation, I was incredibly busy playing catch up at work and with YouTube and whatnot. I had this on for like, I think 11 days, and normally like that would not happen with a regular nail polish. Like that would just be disgusting, and this held up well. Like I'm not going to say that on the 11th day it looked like a good enough that I was going to want to take an Instagram picture and like post it or something, but it still looked really good. Doesn't chip, just kind of like wears away along the tip. And if you have really a lot of trouble with nail polishes sticking to your nails, I think that these are totally worth it. They're awesome, and the top coat does well on its own over other nail polishes, but they work best together. If you're wondering where my glow is coming from, they are the Makeup Forever Starlit powders. I have 2 of them here. The shade 2 I'm wearing on my eyes over a yellow eyeshadow, and then on my cheeks as well. I'll talk about this a little bit more in my upcoming tutorial on this look, but basically these are incredibly versatile powders. This has a really strong gold shift in it, so if you have a little bit of a deeper skin tone, it's going to look so good on you. You can put them on your eyes, on your face. There's no glitter in there, just like an incredible metallic finish. They can be used wet or dry. They're like $25, but I really don't think you're going to run through this kind of thing really fast. And if you're going to be using this as a highlighter, you'll literally never run out, and $25 for a high-end highlighter from Sephora is totally reasonable. There's about 10 different shades in the range, so depending on what you're looking for, eyes or face or whatever it may be, there's a whole bunch of nice shades in there, and I hope they expand the range because it's such a nice product. I may have mentioned this brush before, but I wanted to bring it up again because, speaking to the lighter coverage foundation thing that I've been doing lately, I've really been enjoying this. It is the Jessup Duo Fiber Powder and Blush Brush, and I really like this. It's really unique in my collection. I'm not sure who else would make a brush similar. I actually got this on eBay. I did like an eBay week on my channel about 2 years ago now. I will link to the video down below. but it came in a brush set that cost about $20 for like 15 brushes. And I still use a lot of those brushes. I still recommend that set for sure, but this was my favorite out of it. I love this to blend out cream contour because it is kind of pinched. And then I also love it just for foundation. I'd like to have two or three of these in my collection because it does a really nice job. You don't lose a ton of coverage like you do with the really big, thick stipple brushes because this is somewhat dense in the way of like a duo fiber stipple, so you do still get some coverage, but it also just applies it so lightly, blends things out really nicely, and like I mentioned, it is quite unique to my collection and super affordable. Lastly, I want to mention a skincare product. This is from Clarins, shocker. It is the Hydra Essential Cooling Gel. Oh, they always put everything in French. It's a moisturizer. It's a gel moisturizer, and I love the serum from this line. I've talked about it before in my winter beauty must-haves, but it's such a nice gel. It truly does feel cool when you have it on your skin. If you have oily skin, I think that this is amazing. Even if you have normal skin, this whole line is created for people who have dehydrated skin, and that can be anybody, whether you have dry, oily combo skin. Your skin can be dehydrated, whether it's producing oil or not. That is kind of a separate issue. Especially for me, living in this kind of different climate here in Toronto, my skin hasn't been, like my body skin has been so dry. My face hasn't necessarily been dry, but I've been trying to do a better job to actually hydrate it and not just strip it of oils without overhydrating it. So I've been loving to use this in the daytime, in the morning. I think it just has such a beautiful texture, and it really feels good under makeup as well. I'm scared to say that it has like a silicone feel to it, but it has that kind of feel that you're like, oh, this is gonna kind of help my makeup go on a little bit smoother because it has like a bit of a thicker gel consistency. I thought I was done, but as I was chatting about that Clarins moisturizer, I was remembering how dry my skin was and what has been saving it. It is the Bioderma Germ Intensive Balm, and I am such a fan of like really fun, fruity, whatever scented products, but a lot of the time they're just not the best for your skin, and I have been an actual crocodile this winter, like so much so that like my wrists and my hands are like ashy and like turning like they just look so dry. It looks really bad, and I've never experienced that before. Like I've always had dry skin, but not like up on my arms and hands. And it might be on account of coming back from vacation as well, and my skin is kind of like shedding a little bit, you know, it's probably gross. But anyways, this is an ultra soothing balm for very dry, irritated to atopic skin, which atopic, I believe, I have a blog post on this and I looked it up, I did the research. I think it's like if you have like a skin condition, kind of like eczema or something. So sensitive skin, and it just does such a good job. There's no scent to it. It's incredibly heavy. I put this on my skin at night, and when I wake up the next day, it truly does feel hydrated. And as fun as it is to go buy Bath & Body Works creams and all that kind of stuff, they can have alcohol and be highly fragranced and really kind of work backwards on your skin. So if you are using those kind of products and you're not, like they're just moisturized when they put, you know, when it's on your skin, but then like a few hours later, the moisture's not really there. It may be nice to get something like this to accompany it. This is really not that expensive. I think it's like $20 available at Shoppers Drug Mart if you're Canadian, and it just has such a good consistency, and I really feel like it's doing something good for my skin. I think I forgot to do this last month, but in every favorites video, I like to highlight a YouTuber that I've been watching a ton, that I've recently met, and just kind of like spread the love and introduce you to people that I love watching or that I have connected with recently that you may enjoy. And recently I met a girl named Aisha, and she lives here in Toronto, and she is stunning. We don't even know really where we met. We know that we officially met at a Makeup Forever event, and we were like, can't remember if we met because we watch each other's videos, and it's like this very blurry internet friendship, but we recently got to meet in person, and she is my new YouTube friend, and she makes amazing videos. She has dark skin as well, so if you are looking for recommendations for foundation, she does nude lip videos, get ready with me, she does some fashion stuff, a little bit of vlog stuff, and she is just fabulous. I think you'll really enjoy her, so of course I will link to her down below, and be sure to go check her out. So that is everything that I loved in the month of March. Be sure to let me know what you have been loving down below, and if you'd like to connect with me, you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat at SamanthaJaneYT, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!